The only thing more disrespected than music theory and online guitar teaching is the item limit in grocery store express checkout lanes. Just because they're BOGO doesn't mean they don't count as 2 items, Susan. So today we're talking about music theory, and we're going to do something in the key of D major, all right? Now the reason I'm picking D major is because all the open strings in the standard tuned guitar, all those notes are in the key of D major, right? So you don't even have to know all of them. For instance, if you did know the notes in D major, you would know it's a D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, and then D again. So 2 sharps, right? F has a sharp and C has a sharp. There's no F string or C string on a standard tuned guitar, so all the open strings are still helping us out, but this is a really great way that we can kind of use all these notes in the key of D to do something cool on a guitar, right? So right now we're going to focus on the D string and the G string, so the open 2 middle strings, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to play those notes across each string from the open to the 12th fret, okay? So in D it's really easy because it's just the major scale. It's open, 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. This is where that intervallic formula, if you will, comes in. Whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Okay? Now, just playing those notes with all the open strings around them sounds kind of musical, but I think, in my opinion, you want to grab another note to go with that, to pair that, instead of just kind of mindlessly going up and down this scale and then slopping all the open strings around there. Just like Susan slopping those BOGO oat milks on there. 10 items. 10 items is not hard to count. I can keep 10 items in my head, guys. And it's like, here's the thing. I'm a reasonable man. If you have 11 items, 12 items the express checkout lane, that's fine. I get it. Sometimes you lose track. You got a handbasket. But when you have a cart and you're pushing it in the express checkout line, I'm out. I'm out, guys. So we're going to add the G string, all right? Now we can just go through the same notes. Remember, we just have a C sharp and an F sharp in this key. So we go G, A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G. I think a better way to do this is just to pair it with the D string and just remember the one way that it's different starting on G. If we start on G, all we have to know is the 4th note away is sharp, okay? So what I mean by that, stick with me. Stick with me, guys. This is really, really very helpful information. It's really helped me see the fretboard in so many different ways. Again, D, get this down. 2, 4, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12. Open, whole, half, whole, half. That's very important to start with. Now, do the same thing on the G string. Whole, but that 4th note, sharpen it, and then go back to whatever we had, right? So, G, A, B, sharp 4. Everything else is the same, okay? One way to really solidify this in your brain is to play them both at the same time. So now when I'm playing the D and G strings together, right? D and G, 2 and 2, 4 and 4, 5 and 6, that's where they diverge, right? But then they kind of come back together, and then it's the same thing. Now, when we start playing these with the open strings around them, really you can make cool stuff sound pretty easy, right? Speaking of making cool stuff, you can rock an Enya guitar, which is the sponsor of today's video. I'm not plugged into anything. I'm using the built-in speaker in this guitar. Super reasonably priced. I love the gradient finish on this. They have a bunch of different finishes, but big fan of Enya guitars. I'll have a affiliate link in the description if you're interested. Cool thing about this is it plugs in just like a regular guitar, but you can also USB charge it or put headphones into it. And if I just press this button, it gives me a different sound. I can add some distortion. Press it again. A little more metal. This is my favorite one, and again, you can customize this with the app, but this one has delay on it. which gets us into the next part, which is going to be pairing these new kind of things that you can do just across the two strings with something that you probably already know, which is the relative minor pentatonic scale, right? Should I keep it on the delay or should I go back to clean? I'll go back to clean. Let me know in the comments if I should do lessons with effects on, because again, it sounds better just qualitatively, but sometimes I think it can be distracting. So usually when I teach stuff, I do it with just a clean setting on. Let me know if you guys want that to change or if it's cool doing it the same way. So what we have here now is we have, again, this root note and its fourth, D, E, F sharp, G. Okay, those go very well together. Or actually, if you think in a different way, we could actually have a root note on the G string and its fifth. Okay, so two ways of thinking about the same thing, but it's good to kind of make a differentiation between them. Because again, we can just start with these first first three little mini power chords, which is a D and a G, an E and an A, an F sharp, and a B, right? We can think of these backwards as being like, all right, if G is my this G is my root note, a G and a D is actually a power chord, right? So this, and this is the same as this, just kind of inverted, right? So that's a cool thing that you could do to maybe kind of switching up back and forth between them, right? Because you probably already have at least some semblance of how power chords work. We could even just go to a root note D again. The fifth fret on the A string is your D, right? So just like we went whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, you can start here with a power chord and go whole, whole, half, whole, 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 half, and then do the power chords from there. But you can also kind of just jump back here, right? Remember, G, whole step, whole step. This is where if you're in the key of D, it can be a little dodgy because we actually have, there's no C. Remember, there's a C sharp there. So we'd actually have a C sharp, and then on the A string, it would be the 10th fret because there's your G. Okay? So again, it's just that small difference, that little variation that really makes a huge difference in your playing, because understanding where that kind of dodgy half step is an important part of really understanding music theory, right? In fact, if you want to go further into that, you can also sign up for my Patreon, or you can just be like, all right, the seventh note in any key, and remember in D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, that C sharp has a flat 5, and that's why a C sharp here, power chord, is just like that, right? So E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, which is pretty much the same kind of idea as, right, again, that weird one right there that kind of screws up the pattern is your C sharp. But understanding that, I think, is like a very helpful way to fluidly navigate through the fretboard, okay? A lot of cool stuff you can do with that. So let's go into what we know about power chords, what we know about just going up and down the string in these little kind of two-note buddy system little style is, and then let's add that minor pentatonic thing that you probably already know. Again, in any key, the 6th note is where the relative minor is. A lot of information in this one. We're just rifling through. Let me know if you want me to slow down or if this is good speed for you guys. But D, E, F sharp, G, A, B. B is the relative minor of D, so we just have to find a B, 7th fret, and then we go through our favorite shape, the minor pentatonic shape. 7, 10, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 9, 7, 10, 7, 10. So we've got a couple different ideas that we have just from music theory that we're combining into one fluid-ish exercise. We've got this little interval kind of buddy system thing. We've got the power chords that we were talking about earlier. And then we've got this spot on the neck, right? So let's put some distortion on it and then just do something like... let's do a D, that space after the A, if we have like a 4-bar kind of loop, D, G, A, and then just some space to explore what we've been talking about. D, G, pentatonic. Maybe I just want to go to the octave. Again, I just want D and G, 12, 12, 11. Next time I'll go all the way to 9, too. Okay, that's something kind of interesting. Maybe I'll play those not as double stops, but I'll play them as one at a time. That was like kind of cool, alright? So I'll go do that again. And now I have like a little riff, and it's like, okay, just from messing around here, now I have like a little motif. D, G, A. And it's all from understanding how this works. And that's not so hard, right? Open, open. 2, 2, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7, 9, 9, 11, 11. And you can do that on any key. We just happen to be starting on open D because it is the key of D. We could easily do this key of E, but now it just starts here. 2 and 2. And everything just kind of moves up like that, right? So, again, something that you really want to spend a little bit of time on, just understanding how these kind of work together. 2-note chords, dyads if you want to call them. Again, a rose by any other name. Am I right? But it really just comes down to just playing cool stuff. Having fun with effects. And even just something like that. I'm just going through the first little position, that open, open, 2, 2, 4, 4. And now I'm kind of just exploring just these 6 notes, almost as a scale. And then if you want to branch off, remember, just go to the next one. And then make mistakes along the way and whatever, but I don't know. I have a lot of fun just combining dyads and throwing them in between power chords and stuff. So thank you so much to Enya for sending this bad boy over. I love these Enya guitars are awesome. I have this and the Inspire, which is maybe, I guess the Inspire is probably like a step up, but they're both awesome. They just feel great. They're super light, easy to charge, bring with you anywhere. And yeah, like I said, let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I'll talk to y'all soon.